Hello and welcome to week 3. So this week is all about resumes. So we are going to kind of dive right in. This is going to be a pretty short video. So going to just show you a couple different things real fast. So we have 3 assignments: your resume, a job description, and then your scans. So first of all, we all know what a resume is. That is it's your working document of all of your past experiences. It's your education, it's your volunteer, it's your work experience, clubs, organizations, collegiate involvement, leadership experience. It's going to always be evolving and changing over time as you get new experiences, as you kind of develop yourself professionally, as you get older and you have different jobs. I mean, it's just always going to be looking different. You're always going to be working on it. You're never going to just have a resume that's just done. Even if you were at a job for several years, you might be earning other, certifications, or, you might be earning different skill sets. You might be getting promoted. So you're always going to be updating your resume at all times. And a resume, while there is no one size fits all, there are definitely some best practices. You'll hear me say that throughout the entirety of this course. You have to make it make sense for you and what field you're going into, because I can't just give you a template and say, hey, do this particular resume, and this is exactly what the employers are looking for, because accounting is going to look different than, say, business admin or sports business. And it's also going to look different if you're a freshman in college or a senior, or if you've been out of the field for 20 years. Or out in the field, excuse me, in the field for 20 years. So I'm going to show you my resume, and it's going to look completely different than what you might have. So you can definitely choose whatever type of template you want. There are some listed in the Canvas course that you can choose from. You can also find some if you like them online. Just be careful about using AI or Chat GPT of some sort to generate a resume for you. While that may sound like wow, that's just easy and it just makes it sound much more professional, a lot of people are doing that. And then now, instead of sounding super professional and sounding like you're going to stand out, all you've really done is now make yourself be one of the masses. Excuse me. Because everyone is doing it, then again, you're going to just look like everybody else and you're just going to get bypassed. Employers want to see authentic, genuine, tailored resumes to their specific job that they are posting, to the company that they represent. I will tell you this, that recruiters and hiring managers can spot a generic resume a mile away. And while it may sound daunting to have to revamp and revise your resume for every job you apply for, yeah, it is what it is. Because if you're not doing that, if you have just one resume that you are sending out to every employer, you're just getting on Indeed or LinkedIn or whatever platform you're using, and you're just hitting submit, 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 then you are going to be just like everybody, and then you're not going to get any callbacks, and you're going to be super frustrated. I'm telling you this because I deal with students on the daily who are telling me this, like, hey, I've applied to like 50 jobs. And I'm like, all right, are you using the exact same resume for everyone? They're like, well, yeah, that's why. And, you can either keep doing that, which the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Or you can take a little bit of effort. And instead of applying to 50 jobs in mass quantity, you could apply to maybe 3 or 4 jobs a day, but spending that same amount of time that you'd be applying to 50 jobs by tailoring your resume. So it's super important that you take that into consideration. Again, I can't tell you to do it. If you choose not to do it, it's not that you won't get a job or you won't get an interview, but the chances are much greater that you won't. Because again, hiring managers and recruiters can spot that generic resume a mile away. I made that same mistake. I was doing the same thing. I was like, oh my gosh, I have all this education. I have all this experience. I'm overqualified for a lot of this stuff. Why am I not getting any calls? because I'm not hitting the markers. Another thing that we have to consider with resumes is that most companies now, especially if they're a bigger company, they are using some type of AI to screen through resumes before they even get in front of human eyes. We call that ATS, it stands for Applicant Tracking System, or other some type of variation of that. So if your resume doesn't have the right keywords, or it's got some kind of funky format, or you've got different colors and icons and graphics and all sorts of stuff, it could really confuse the AI. Remember, it's not perfect. So the little things like having different colors or different icons or kind of funky fonts where you're like, hey, this will really make me stand out. What it's really doing is inhibiting you from even getting in front of a real recruiter or a real hiring manager. It's just going to get lost in cyberspace. So your best bet is to kind of plain Jane it so that it doesn't confuse it, and then you have a better opportunity to bypass the ATS and get actually in front of human eyes. I also recommend that you have several different versions of your resume, because if you are just hand delivering your resume to somebody or you're emailing it directly to somebody, that's a completely different ball game versus you applying online or to some kind of website that it might potentially go through some type of applicant tracking system. Oh, excuse me. I just got hit with the wave of tired as soon as I sat down. I was like, all ready to go. And now all of a sudden my brain's like, no, don't think so. So I apologize. All right. So a couple different things you're gonna, oh, I'm sorry. I said you had three. You have four assignments because you also have the discussion question. So your resume, the job description, the scan, and the discussion question two. All right, so here's what we're going to do. So the job description is pretty self-explanatory. You're going to look for a job. I would highly recommend that you look for something in your field because you're going to be referencing it. Don't just do these activities as a way to check off a box to hurry up and get a grade and so that you can just, be done with that particular assignment or this week's assignment, because it's not really doing you any good and you're not going to get any benefit or value out of it. Oh, God. All right, let's try this video over. Goodness gracious. All right, so the job description, you're going to just find a job description, you're going to copy and paste it. I'm going to show you the one that I am using right now. I have to pull it up. I am still have to learn how to work all this stuff. It's just bananas to me. All right, so hopefully you are seeing, showing you. Here we go. All right, so hopefully right now you are seeing the higher ed jobs, the executive director of career services. This is the job description that I'm going to use. So for the job description activity, all I would have to do is copy and paste this into the job description assignment. That particular one is done. All right, so I'm going to use this and then I'm going to log into Big Interview. So Big Interview is on your single sign-on. When you first log into it, you are going to have to set up an account. When you set up your account with Big Interview, it'll walk you through setting it all up. It's part of your tuition. It's part of your, of what we already have here for you at Florida Southern. So no need to stress out about it, or you don't have to pay for it or anything like that. We've got that covered for you. All right. Next, what you're going to do, let me log into it. So there's two parts to Big Interview. Again, this is on your single sign-on. You will have to sign up. You will have to create your account. There's going to be resume, and then there's going to be the interview portion. Right now, we're going to focus on the resume portion. So over here, the box, you can pick Big Interview or you can pick resume. I'm on resume. So what I do ask that you do is I would like for you to watch 3 videos. So I'm going to go to resume curriculum. And I'm going to ask you to watch Resume Writing Structure Format Part 1, Resume Writing Structure Format Part 2, and then Resume Summary Statements Part 1. So those 3 videos, I'll also post an announcement. So watch those 3 videos, and then you're going to start building your resume. Now, you can use Big Interview if you want to build a resume. You can go to Resume Builder and you can create a resume. Hopefully, my screen is still showing all this since I'm sharing my screen. You can build your resume on Big Interview if you want, or if you're using a different template, that's perfectly fine as well. I do caution that your resume should not have anything from high school on it. All that stuff should drop off. This is why we did the career planning activity during week one, where you are, I'm sorry, well, technically week two, we did it last week, where we did the career planning, where you wrote down your education, your previous work experience. When we started looking at that, now you're going to be able to put that into your resume. All right, so I'm going to go to scans. I'm going to resume AI. I'm going to scan my resume now. I'm going to have to pick a scoring guide, so you can pick whatever you want depending on where you are, what field you're going into. So I'm going to pick education because remember, I'm applying now for the executive director, so I have to put in a title or role. So executive director of career services, and this is Florida Southern College. All right. So like I said, yeah, you're going to keep that job description. I'm going to go back to my job description and I'm going to copy it. Oh, it's a PDF. It's not letting me copy. Urgh. Okay. I had to play around with the PDF and get that. So hopefully you are seeing the the big interview screen again. So I was able to copy and paste the executive director of career services position into the job description. Remember, I am scanning my resume on Big Interview, which again is on your single sign-on. I selected the education scoring guide. I put in the title, the company, and I copy and pasted the job description. Next, I'm going to upload my resume. So upload resume, choose a file. So I have it as executive director resume. Okay. And now I'm going to scan. So this is what you're going to do for the scan on Big Interview assignment. So again, just to recap, you're going to log on to Big Interview, which is on your single sign-on. You're going to go to the resume portion. I ask that you watch those 3 videos, and then you are going to create a resume. There's tons of resume resources in Canvas as well as online. You probably already have a resume and all that kind of good stuff. You can create a new resume using Big Interview under Resume Builder. However you want to do this is perfectly fine with me. Um, and then you're going to go into scan and you say scan AI. You're going to pick a scoring guide. I picked education because I'm in higher ed. And then I copy and pasted the job description and then I loaded my resume. Right now, Big Interview is scanning my resume against the job description. So this is a pretty cool tool that we offer you as part of your tuition. And this again is on your single sign-on. So once it gets done scanning it, what you're going to do is you're going to take a screenshot of the scan. You can see I have scanned previous ones before and doing this activity in other classes. It says it's almost done. I'm going to pause the recording just so that you're not sitting here watching that scan. All right, so my resume is done scanning. So as you can see here, it says Executive Director of Career Services. Now I can view the feedback. So scan today at 3:01. I got a silver badge, which is great. Let's view the feedback. So when you come to the feedback, it's going to talk to me about readability, credibility, ATS fit, and format. So then I want to view detailed feedback here. So anyone that you want to take a screenshot of, actually, probably this first page here would be perfectly fine. You want to take a screenshot of this is going to be what you want to load into that big interview scan. That is perfectly fine. I do not need all pages. I just want to see that you did it. But I can look at the detailed feedback. What I really like about this is that it goes into the detail. Now, for my specific resume for this, I did not do a summary statement, so it's dinging me for not having a summary statement, and which they do really think that you should have a summary statement. That's why I asked you to watch that video. Some spelling and grammar issues that I have here. So it's kind of marked some of those that I want to go back and look. Now, these are things that um, I'm not sure I wanted to go back and change. I think I looked at these before and I was like, yeah, no, that's exactly how I wanted to say it. Sections, it doesn't like some of my sections. So take big interview with a grain of salt. You don't have to change everything just because it says that you do. I like this particular format for myself. It doesn't mean that I have to change it. It can be however you want it. Remember, there is no one size fits all. But I did get a check for contact information because, of course, I do have that, and I'm not using any type of personal pronouns. I can go into credibility, and then it tells me, okay, wonderful. I've got all these green checks. It says experience in chronological order. It's saying that I've kind of missed some things there, so I could go back and look there. Not really sure. ATS fit, again, job title match. So it says executive director versus executive director of career services. I might want to change that. Format, it doesn't like my format. My format is just fine. So again, take it kind of with a grain of salt. But this is all the wonderful things that Big Interview can offer you. It tells you all the different ways that you can update your resume so that it is the best match for that particular job. I really like, if I go back to credibility, I really like that it talks about experience, education details. I really like if I look at ATS fit, it talks about skill match and competency match, education experience match. So if you are not hitting the right keywords, if you do not have the right experience or you don't have the right education, then it's just going to get tossed out. And so this is a good tool for you to use so that you can see like, oh, yes, I need to add that, or I need to update that, or oh, wow, I probably shouldn't apply to that job. I don't have a PhD yet. I don't have, 15 years experience if that particular job is requiring those things. So this is a great tool for you to use on Big Interview. Again, I don't care what you take a screenshot of. I would just do probably this first set here where it talks about the different areas that you can see the detailed feedback on, and that's how you will upload your resume. Now, you can scan your resume up to 5 times a day using Big Interview. So if I wanted to take some of that detailed feedback and take my resume down and maybe make a couple changes in it and then reload it again and see if I get a higher score, I can absolutely do that. I can do that up to 5 times a day. So if I were you and I was out job searching, I would use this tool to help make sure that I've got the right keywords, that I'm hitting all the right points, that I have the right education experience and everything. And then I would be possibly applying to say just one job a day using using this particular tool that we have available to you again on your single sign-on. So that's what you're going to be doing this week is building your resume. Let's see if I can stop that. I don't know if it's going to stop the share or if I've been sharing. I feel like it's a little bizarre today. Um, so that's what you're going to be doing this week is looking at your resume, using a job description. That is one of the most important things that you guys can think about when it comes to resume. You just cannot have just one resume for every single job that you apply for. You have to tailor it specifically to every job you apply for. You've got to look at the keywords. You've got to make sure that you have a strong summary statement that includes the job title of the job that you are applying for. You've got to make sure that your skill set match, that your keywords match, that you also have a resume format that's going to pass the ATS. So no funky fonts, no large fonts, no colors or icons. And this is something too I see a lot of students struggle with. They say, oh, it's going to really make me stand out. They really like it. Again, I'm not going to tell you no, but I am going to tell you that best practices say not to. Now, if you've heard it from somebody else that says this is absolutely the way that you should do it, oh, this is my dad, he told me to do it. He's been doing this for 40 years. You can do whatever makes the most sense for you. The whole course is about developing you professionally and you making sense and making it fit for you and your career path because not everybody is on the same path. So I hope that that makes sense to you. Please watch those videos. You'll have those 4 assignments, your final resume, the job description, the screenshot of the scan, and then discussion question 2, which requires you to answer it and then respond to a peer. As always, your assignments are due by 11:59 on Sunday. So if you know that you're traveling or you know that you might have something coming up, this is a holiday weekend. You might be planning to take some time off. You might have family come in. You cannot wait until the weekend and then say, oops, I was traveling. I didn't have good Wi-Fi, or my family was in town, or I just didn't have time. I got busy. It doesn't, the assignment is open now. It's been open since the beginning of this semester, or the beginning of this term, if you will. And it cuts off at 11:59 for full credit. It'll stay open for an additional week for 50% credit. So barring some unforeseen, massive, catastrophic life event, I do not give extensions and I do not allow you to turn stuff in late without addressing the late penalty policy. It's in the syllabus. We talked about it on day 1. I just wanted to reiterate that. So I will post an announcement of the assignments that are due this week. Again, this is all about resumes. As always, if you have any questions or you need any type of clarification, please feel free to email me. Come by my office. I do work throughout the summer. Please make an appointment with me though, because I am in and out with different offices around campus. You can make an appointment with me on Handshake or send me an email. We can hop on Zoom. If you don't want to come to campus or if you're not here in town, I'm willing to accommodate however that makes the most sense for you. So as always, if you have any questions, let me know. If not, see you guys next week and enjoy the long weekend. But again, please make sure that you're on top of your assignments. Get them done before the weekend because come 11:59 on Sunday, it will no longer be available for full credit. Let me know if you have any questions, guys. Take care. Bye.